Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Upstate Yankee Boy coming to you live and direct with the latest Yankees news, rumors, and off-season updates. We do got a lot to talk about since the last video I made. First thing I'm going to get to is the Patrick Corbin news. I know for a long time a lot of people were expecting Patrick Corbin to be a Yankee. The Yankees were only willing to go to a 5-year deal. No more than $100 million. He ended up signing with the Nationals for 6 years, $140 million. A lot of people were upset about it, but he's a guy that if the Yankees signed him, they would have been signing him for his potential instead of his track record. And I think with the Yankees, they didn't want to go to 6 years because, his Tommy John surgery, the fact that he's pitched to a 4 ERA, a 5 ERA, and, seasons where he had 150-plus innings pitched, So I understand their thinking on that. I probably would have went to 6 years, not 140 million, maybe the 115 to 125 million that was being thrown out there. That's definitely something I probably would have done at that price. But, all in all, I think they would have got outbid on the 6 years regardless. So they made the best choice by not signing him. Also, a former Yankee, Andrew McCutchen, he signed with the Phillies yesterday. He agreed to a deal. I mean, I'm sure in the next few days he'll be signing it and having a press conference and all that. But he agreed to a deal with the Phillies on a 3-year, $50+ million, probably $50 to $54 million. I think that's a good pickup for the Phillies. McCutchen's still very valuable. He's definitely, a great defender, good leadoff hitter. He's got enough power and speed to get you 20 home runs and 20 steals every season. He can still bat 270, 280 for you, so I think he was a good pickup. Obviously, he wasn't in the Yankees' plans. They already have Brett Gardner. They got Judge, Stanton, Hicks, Frazier, and unfortunately, we still got Jacoby Ellsbury. Another guy I want to talk about is J.A. Happ. Reportedly, he's got a 3-year deal around $40 to $45 million right now that I don't know if he agreed to or he's closing in on a deal. The reports have been, varying from different writers. Joel Sherman, Brian Hotch, a few other guys reporting a few different things. But I think it's going to be done soon. It's probably going to be a 3-year deal, probably $42 to $45 million, 14 to 15 a year. How I feel about that is this. I feel that J. Happ is a solid number 3, number 4 starter. He's a veteran. He's pitched in the AL East. Yeah, he only pitched 2 innings against the Red Sox and gave up 5 runs in the playoffs. But overall for his career in the last few seasons, he's been pretty good against the Red Sox. So I don't mind picking him up. But the Yankees got to do one of two things. They got to either pick up a big-time bat or strengthen their starting rotation by bringing in a 6th starter. I've been saying the 6th starter thing for a while. Sabathia is injury-prone. Happ has injury-prone history. I think he's more durable now, so you probably don't have to worry about him as much. Tanaka, he's been durable, but he had a little stretch in his first 2 years where his elbow was half giving out on him, half not giving out. They thought about Tommy John surgery. He ended up not going that route, and he's been, pretty good the last 3 years. 2 years ago, he had a rough season. He had a mid-4 ERA. But if you look at, that season, he actually was having games where he'd go 6 or 7 innings with no runs. And then the next time he pitched, it'd be 3 innings, and he gave up 5 runs. So his ERA was kind of misconstrued. You know what I mean? He was either pitching to about a 2 ERA or he was pitching to about an 8 ERA. It was just one of them things where he was up and down that whole season. So I think overall Tanaka is not much to worry about. James Paxton, he's injury prone, but it's no major injuries. It's always the hamstring, the quad, the muscle lat, shoulder strains, all these, fingernail issue. He's had a bunch of weird, mysterious injuries that have just happened. But he's still never pitched more than 160 innings. In fact, he's 30 years old, and he's only had 3 out of his 6 seasons that he's pitched over 100 innings. Now, his first 3 years, I believe it was, he only made 8 to 13 starts. So we still got 2 years left before he hits free agency. That's why he's got 6 years and he's not a free agent yet. But he definitely is someone who's injury prone and someone we got to look out for. I think that they could go pick up a Lance Lynn or a Gio Gonzalez or someone like that on maybe a 1 year, $5 to $10 million pack. Not saying that they should go that route, but if you're not going to bring in a big bat, you definitely got to shore up that starting rotation by adding a 6th starter, and you definitely got to bring in 1 or 2 elite relievers. There's rumors out there that the Yankees are out of the sweepstakes for Bryce Harper, and rumors that they're all in with Manny Machado. Personally, I don't believe they're going to sign either guy. These aren't George Steinbrenner's Yankees. George Steinbrenner loved his Yankees. He'd spend his last penny on his Yankees. Hal's in it for the business. His first thing is he wants to get rich. And then the second thing, he wants to stay under the luxury tax while making deals that the Yankees end up benefiting from. Like, the Didi trade, the Hicks trade, trades like that. He likes to get steals in trades now. He likes to get a guy that's under the radar that blossoms into a pretty good starting player or starting pitcher, depending on, if he's getting a hitter or a pitcher in a trade, But overall, I just don't think the Yankees are trying to spend money. I think they're trying to be cheap, so to speak, even though their payroll is still one of the highest in baseball. Right now, they're still top 5, top 10 in payroll. But let's be real, the Yankees have always been number 1. And then, for a little while there, the Dodgers were number 2 in payroll. Or number 1, and the Yankees were number 2 in payroll. Excuse me with that. But I just think that the Yankees are better off going after a Machado, but they're not going to do it. This is just not what they want to do. They want to save money, they want to get multiple pieces, and they want to patch a team together. They feel like the core they got can get them a championship, and if they patch the right veteran pieces around them, they can win a championship. I'm not saying that they won't get Machado. I think they're still interested, but they're looking at a 7 years, 8 years, 30 to 35 million a season. They're not going to go to 9 or 10 or 11. And if a team's going to 10, I don't think Machado's going to take less money. And Harper, according to Cashman, the Yankees got too many outfielders, and he don't even know why reporters keep asking him about Harper. So that's already a slam dunk. He ain't coming to the Yankees. You might as well just cross that off the list and not even count on it, because it ain't going to happen. I think it's stupid. Brett Gardner is a free agent next year. Hicks is a free agent next year. Ellsbury's a free agent in 2 years. Clint Frazier hasn't done shit in his first 2 years, that he's come up. Yeah, he's been getting these concussions and all these little hamstring injuries and stuff like that, but he just hasn't, produced to be the player that they said he was going to be. The Yankees are still sold on Greg Bird. They think he's going to be something special one day if he ever gets it clicking. There's a few other trades out there, though, that the Yankees were being, involved in. I think they're a bunch of bullshit, just a BS that was getting blown up our ass for no reason, smoke being blown up our ass. And I think it's just reporters trying to get their likes up on their social media, trying to get people to follow them. The ownership's possibly leaking little information to try to gain traction on other trades or to get the fans to actually follow. But the reality of the story is this. The Yankees are not getting Noah Syndergaard from the Mets. That's not going to happen. They already got Jay Happ, so it looks like the starting pitcher market's pretty much closed for them anyway. They're not going to get a Madison Bumgarner. They're not getting Corey Kluber. His $17 million is going to be too much for Hal, and Hal's penny pinching right now. So don't expect a Corey Kluber to get traded and then the Yankees got some type of six-man rotation. If they go six-man rotation, the next guy they get is going to be a cheap guy. A Lance Lynn, a Gio Gonzalez, a Irvin Santana, someone like that. They're going to get a guy who could be a bullpen or a starter. It's not going to be a Corey Kluber. Madison Bumgarner, he's probably going to get traded at the All-Star break or at the trade deadline next year. I don't see San Francisco trading him right now. I think that they can get a lot more for him at the trade deadline because there's going to be a team or two, maybe the Yankees, who are going to be out there looking for another starting pitcher. So don't expect a Madison Bumgarner trade anytime soon either. As far as Miguel Andujar, yesterday a report came out that the Yankees were interested in moving him possibly for the right, trade. I think that was kind of, if they were to be in the Noah Syndergaard, Madison Bumgarner, Corey Kluber trade, he was a possibility. Now, a lot of fans keep saying, oh, we need to trade this guy Estevan Florial. He's 2 or 3 years away. Stop. The Yankees aren't trading him. I don't know if any of you guys are really familiar with this guy, have ever actually seen him play before. You probably watched him on YouTube, and that was, about it. But if you've ever watched this guy play and know what he's capable of, you'll understand why the Yankees are quote-unquote prospect hugging when it comes to Estevan Florial. Another thing to keep in mind is this. The Yankees can't re-sign Didi, Betances, and Hicks next year and plan on signing Severino and Sanchez and Judge and all these guys down the road. Some of these guys are going to re-sign and some of these guys are going to leave. Think about this. The Yankees like Didi more. He plays premium defense at a premium position. Hicks is a great defender. Do not get me wrong. He's got a bullet of an arm. But Estevan Florial could easily replace him, possibly next year. He's going to be in Double-A this year, so he possibly could go up to Triple-A by the end of the season. At some point next year, Florial will be on the Yankees. And when I say next year, I'm not talking about next year in 2019. I'm talking about next year in 2020. This year's hypothetically over. It's almost Christmas, so if anyone's looking to correct me on that, I meant 2020. He'll be up. He's a lefty hitter. This guy's got pop. He's got way more speed. He covers better ground than Hicks. He bats pretty decent. He's a 280 hitter. Now, one person told me, oh, well, his strikeout rate's too high. Well, guess what? Sanchez and Judge's strikeout rate was phenomenally high, as well as Andujar's in the minors. But guess what? Those guys turned out to be pretty good hitters in the pros. So don't think a 20-year-old striking out a lot in professional baseball is something to, oh my gosh, it's a red flag. He's going to strike out 200 times when he becomes a Yankee. No, that's not the reality. The reality is, in minor league baseball, guys are constantly tweaking their swinging, their approach. They're trying to get better and improve on certain areas to try to make it to the pros. And remember, these are 19, 20-year-old kids. They're young. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to learn. I mean, look at Andujar's defense. It's horrible. That's not to say when he's 25 or 26, he's not above average at defense, because he probably will. He's got probably one of the best arms in baseball at third base. He's just not accurate when he throws. And most of his fielding issues have been the throwing part. He's got a cannon. He just needs to be more accurate. His fielding, that when the ball actually gets hit to him, he fields the ball pretty solidly. He's not as bad as all these people are making it out to be. I wanted to bring up some of the infielders you could probably expect the Yankees to be looking to sign. I know they have interest in Marwin Gonzalez. They've talked to Jed Lowry's representatives. They've been in contact with Brian Dozier. Them are the type of guys you could look for the Yankees to sign. As far as relievers go, you could look for the Yankees to sign Adam Ottavino or David Robertson or Andrew Miller. There's plenty of guys still to be had out there. And remember, the Yankees are patching the team together. They're not going after a Harper or Machado. They're not trying to spend money. So when you look at the list, I got the list right here. I made a list. Actually, my wife wrote it down for me because I got sloppy-ass handwriting. But I got this marker board, and it's got the top guys from 1 to 50 that MLB trade rumors put for the top 50 free agents. And I look at this list, and what I see is so many infielders and relief pitchers out there. That's why I truly believe the Yankees are going to be all in on getting a relief pitcher and maybe one or two relievers, and possibly adding a sixth starting pitcher. Um, Guys to look out for are Juris Familia, Zach Britton, Adam Ottavino, Andrew Miller, Joe Kelly, Kelvin Herrera's out there, Joakim Soria, Cody Allen. He's pretty good. Bud Norris is out there. Starting pitchers, you got Irvin Santana, Drew Pomerantz. You got Lance Lynn. I mean, there's a lot of names still out there. For infielders, you got Daniel Murphy. You got Jed Lowry. You got Marwin Gonzalez. I believe it's going to be one of those guys. Brian Dozier. DJ Lemieux. I don't think it's going to be a Machado. And I don't think it's going to be a Murphy either. I think the Yankees look at Murphy more of a first baseman now, and they're set with Voit and Bird. That's who they want to go with. This is not me telling you this. This is the Yankees. This is what they want. They want a payroll that if it does go over the luxury tax, that it's 1 or 2 year deals that are keeping them over the luxury tax. That way, in a couple years, they can reset it again and sign these guys that they want to sign that are already on the team. Next year, Hicks, Didi, and Betances are going to get free agency. I see Betances coming back for sure. Now, Didi and Hicks, one of them are going to come back and one of them aren't. I mean, that's the truth of the story. I mean, you can't have everybody. You can't sign everybody. Everyone's going to get their payday, and the Yankees ain't going to be handing out paydays to everybody. You know, there's 29 other teams out there, and there's going to be a lot of teams that are interested in these type of guys. I see Hicks probably getting something similar to Andrew McCutchen, a 3 or 4 year deal, you know, probably $13 to $15 million a year. I don't see him get too much more. Didi, I could see him getting maybe a 5 year, $90 million deal, maybe 6 year, 110, 105. I think more of 5 for 85 or 90 is more what he'll probably end up with. Who knows though? I mean, he's coming off an injury. If he don't come back full strength, he might not get the deal he wants. He might even sign a 1 year deal with the Yankees for, you know, maybe $15 million just to try to get his market back up, something like Donaldson did this year. But I think, you know, most likely to get a 4 to 5 year deal in the $15, $17 million range. Didi's very valuable. He's got a smooth left-handed swing that's perfect for the short porch. He plays great defense. He hustles. He's got solid speed. The guy will steal a base. He'll dive for a ball. He'll pretty much do anything for you. I love Aaron Hicks too. I think he's a great player. You know, he's phenomenal all around. But the truth of the matter is, Yankees can't sign both these guys at $15 million a piece and spend, you know, $10+ million on Betances next year. These guys combined right now are making about $15 to $20 million in arbitration. They're going to go up to about, you know, $50 million if they were to re-sign all of them. You add $30 million on top of what the Yankees salary is right now, that would bring them over the luxury tax itself without even re-signing anyone else next year. You know what I'm saying? That's without even touching the free agent market next year. And they're always looking for someone. I mean, Sabathia is going to retire next year. The Yankees probably want to go after a Madison Bumgarner. You know, I think they're waiting for him to hit free agency to make a run at him. I think he's the guy they really, really want. I think Corbin they are very interested in, but not at that price tag. If they're going to go 6 years, 130, 140 million, they would feel a lot more comfortable giving it to a guy who's got a couple World Series, a few All-Star appearances. I don't think he's ever won a Cy Young, but he's definitely a Cy Young caliber type of pitcher. I don't think Patrick Corbin will ever get to that level. I think he's more of a J-Hap, you know, type of level. I think he's got a little bit better stuff than Hap just because he could throw a phenomenal slider that's one of the best in baseball. But I still think Corbin's a number 3, where Madison Bumgarner, he's not a 1A. I think he's fallen off a tiny bit, but he's still a solid 1B, or as good as you could get, number 2. So I think Bumgarner is a guy they might target next year, but that's a whole other story. That's another 12 months to come. I don't really want to get into all that. But, expect the Yankees to be active on the relief pitcher market and free agency, and also expect them to look at some of these lower level infielders, a Jed Lowry, a Brian Dozier, a Marwin Gonzalez. These are the type of guys they're looking for. They probably only want to spend another 20 to 30 million on this team, so you can't expect them to go after anybody too big. I mean, they don't have the money to spend according to them. They only have a certain, according to Brian Cashman, he's only working with a limited budget. Last time I even could think of the Yankees having a limited budget was never. So what this is, I can only say that it has to be Hal is interested in making money off the Yankees, and he's interested in making, low risk, high reward type of free agent signings, low risk, high reward type of trades. So, I mean, don't expect too much. As a Yankee fan, I know it's a sad time right now for us, but the truth of the matter is, as long as we buy tickets, as long as we buy gear, as long as we're showing up to the games, as long as we watch them on TV, we're going to continue to make Hal Steinbrenner rich, and we're going to continue to support the Yankees, even though we don't support the way the ownership's running the team. So us, the fans, are the ones to blame. We run the market. We pay the money for the games. We pay the money for the food. We pay the money for the hats, the jerseys, the baseballs, the bats that we buy, the jackets, the cups. I mean, look at me right now. There we go. We keep doing stuff like that. Don't expect to change, because at the end of the day, the Yankees are going to run the team how they want to run them. And the sad truth is, they keep running the team the way they're running it. There's a chance we might not win in the next 3 to 5 years a World Series with this core of players. And guess what? Once Judge and Sanchez, they hit arbitration 2 and arbitration 3 and they're ready for free agency, that core of winning with is over with. Them guys are getting paid. It's going to be the next young group of guys that come up. Because the truth of the matter is, when you got so many guys making 10, 15, 20, $25 million, you got to have, a bunch of guys making less than $1 million to make it work. I mean, the reason why the Yankees are able to have a good team right now in the budget of what they want is because you got the Stanton, you got the Tanaka, Ellsbury, even though he's not playing, Chapman, these guys who are making 15 plus mil, but then you got your Severinos, your Birds, your Voits, your Judge, your Andahar, your Torres, even Hicks. He's only making $5 million this year in arbitration. These guys aren't making nothing. That's why the Yankees have these players, this core. So the truth of the matter is, if they don't add another big piece, I think it's going to be hard for them to surpass the Red Sox. The Red Sox got 5 good pitchers, the best lineup in baseball, and their bullpen's not that bad. And with the starting pitching and the hitting they got, they might be up 7-0, 7-2 in the 8th inning that they don't even need an elite bullpen. They might score 10 runs and not need a bullpen. Their starting pitchers go 5, 6, 7 innings every single time. Our pitchers haven't been doing that the last 2 years. I know this is kind of a rant. I've been upset with the Yankees for about a week now, so I didn't make a video because I didn't think I was going to be able to hold my composure or not, drop a million F-bombs and S-bombs and hate words and all that towards the Yankees. So I had to calm myself down for a week so I could actually make a video. I appreciate everyone that tuned in. Please get the likes up. Please subscribe. And I will be getting more videos out, I promise. I know I was supposed to have one about a week ago, but I was pretty upset about the Corbin situation. I'm from Syracuse, so I was really pulling for that guy. But you know what? He's a number 3 starter, and he got paid like number 1. So I don't blame the Yankees for what they did with him. And fortunately, they had a fallback option, Hap, who they look like they're closing in on getting today. But I'll have another video out this weekend. I work weekends, but once I get out of work, I'll definitely do a video, probably Saturday. Hopefully we got something, maybe a relief pitcher or something. Another infielder. But like I said, don't expect a Harper, don't expect a Machado. Stay tuned, more videos are coming. I appreciate everyone who watched. Please get the likes up, get the subscriptions up, and I'll get back to you guys as soon as possible. Probably, if not by tomorrow, definitely Saturday. All right, you guys have a great day and enjoy yourselves.